And 30 seconds later, I have my Mountain Dew. It's drying my throat up talking so much. It's scary. Yeah, Devil May Cry. Devil May Cry was stretched between, I'm thinking it was, the Resident Evil live action tribute was 28th of August 08, and the live action intro that I filmed was 12th of May 2009. Now, in that off time between the year for Devil May Cry, I was actually still working on the Resident Evil Classified script. All in all, I've gone through about 6 different formats for the script, 6 completely different stories, and it's changed characters along the way. I mean, I'll give you the details once I've hit the end of it. I'm just running you through the sort of timeline at the moment. After the live action intro, which was it was 2 UBCS mercenaries in that one. It was the cancelled AMV I was working on called Unity. I cancelled that because I was working on it for my fiancée just before we split up. And when we split up, I didn't see the point in finishing it. So the 30-second section that you see on YouTube is the 30-second intro that I just never got past, and that took me a good 3 or 4 hours to do. And then obviously we split up, so I didn't see the point in doing it. That went up on the 23rd of July. After that, work pretty much exploded onto Resident Evil Classified. We started off with the first stunt test that I did, which was the viral power, I believe, which is me punching the floor. That came out on the 10th of August. It's in 2009 again. That was the first stunt test. Then it was on to the audio diary. The audio diary was basically an idea that I had that it was going to be playing in the background. A guy was going to find it and flick it on, and it was going to play this audio diary in the background. That was a complete test piece. That was on the 10th of August as well. It was a double-barreled upload for that day. Then it was the teaser scene at the Arch. Funny story for you. That little bit there, the 12th of August, where I did the classified teaser scene with me and Zero at the Arch, which is the 2 characters, which is again, it's a UBCS. It's meant to be a UBCS strike team, but there's only 2 of them, so it's not really a strike team. It's just I don't even know what to call a 2-man team. But it's basically about these 2 guys. That was the form that Classified had reached at this point. It was the first final, 100% final script. It didn't last long that way. I did a teaser scene for that and a stunt test where the idea was to hit someone over the head with a keyboard and the keys would explode outwards. That really didn't work. The amount of power I had to put into... I mean, Zero tried to do it to me because I've got a little bit of stunt training, so I know roughly how to take blows. Zero couldn't put he was scared to put the power in to dislodge the keys, and I was like, right, okay, let me give it a crack. Because obviously I know how to deliver blows as well as receive them, and I put a little bit too much power in, and I got about 3 keys to fly out of the keyboard. That was probably the worst stunt idea I've ever had in my life. That got completely scrapped. But those 2 scenes were filmed on the day that Devil May Cry was meant to be filmed. The first day that Devil May Cry was meant to be filmed. Basically, at this point, Devil May Cry had shrunk to about 5 minutes short. And the guys that were meant to be coming in to help completely bailed on me. So it was just me and Zero, left with me and Zero and a tripod, which is pretty much what most of the projects were at that point. Shrunk to me, Zero and a tripod, and we just came out with this teaser scene and the stunt test. Now, this teaser scene was actually never going to be in the Classified film. I scripted it on the spot just as a bit of a sort of a throw on YouTube thing. And it came out of quite a lot of bloopers as well, if I'm honest. But that was the first imaging from what would be Classified, the finished form of Classified that's not been released. Then a couple of days after that I filmed Devil May Cry. Between the 12th of August and the 29th of August it was sort of Devil May Cry. But then it never got released. So that got shelved, that's in the vault. Then it was on to the virals that me and Zero filmed for Classified. We'd taken it full ahead. The script was finished. We were ready to start, pretty much ready to start filming. We did the first viral teaser that I did was called Visual. That was on the 29th of August. That was filmed with myself and a friend, Jesse. Basically, the whole point of it was to be very informative storyline-wise without actually having it. It was meant to sort of have you sat there going, okay, what's going on? And it was meant to give you a little bit of the story. It introduces my character, who was Carl Southall at that point. He was a UBCS captain of Sigma team. And it was basically started off with the camera, the shot inside the car, the camera that you're looking through the windscreen. I actually just duct taped the camera to the dashboard, and we drove for a while just to get some footage. And a funny little fact for you: if you look at that on the left, you'll see a sign for a school called Millfield. At this point, I was working there as a lifeguard. That's like a private school; it's diabolically expensive. That was the first viral teaser. That went up on about 5 different websites, but it didn't really get much viral coverage, unfortunately. Then on the 14th of September, me and Zero had been off to Sandhill, and we'd filmed the second viral trailer teaser called Combat. And the whole point of that was to show a military side of it. It was to show weapons that we would have access to. It was to show the sort of military manoeuvres that we were working on. And that was out on the 14th of September. There was also a blooper video for that one. And those bloopers, I think, got more views than the viral itself, which is I'm going to make a note of, because next time I decide to release a viral video, it's just going to be bloopers for the film, I reckon, because it'll probably get more views. But those 2 virals launched quite successfully. It was at that point that we'd actually filmed Classified, I believe. Let me just check. Yeah, we'd filmed Classified at that point. We'd actually gone out and we'd filmed what we had planned. Because I went away and started working. I started a Let's Play Resident Evil 2 walkthrough. It was my way of taking my mind off of Classified, because Classified was completely eating up all of my time in the world ever. It was really annoying for me at that point. So I took a break to do a walkthrough of Resident Evil 2. Then I did I think that was the first video I did in my Resident Evil collection. Quite possibly was. I did the first video of what I had Resident Evil-wise. Then I did a Director's Cuts walkthrough, Let's Play Resident Evil Director's Cuts. The first run-through got cancelled because the ending I got was crap. I completely forgot what I'm supposed to be doing in the game, so I did it again, so it was 2 walkthroughs for that. Then I released the filler video. It was the only filler video that I ended up recording. I was intending to get quite a few, and it's the only one I ended up doing. That came out on the 13th of October. That was basically me and Joe going to pick up Zero. We went to pick up Zero to come back to mine to film at mine for the day, because my house was completely empty and we were using it for one of the locations. So that got released. Then it was the first trailer on the 28th of October. I was so unimpressed with that trailer that that's why I made the second. The second trailer was made because I didn't like the first trailer. I didn't like how it had edited together, and I wasn't impressed with the I didn't like the look. I looked at the final piece and I was like, no, I don't like this at all. I'm making another one. So I ended up going away and I made the second trailer, which came out on the 2nd of October. That only took like 2 or 3 days to edit, but I preferred the second one a lot to the first one. And at this point, Classified was finished, end of, ready to go. It was just being edited. Excuse me. Then it went on to a second Resident Evil short. No, sorry, it was a Chris Redfield short at that point. I was out on the 5th of November, 2009, again. All of these like shorts, there's going to be links like in the gap here by my head to these videos as and when they pop up. It was the second Chris Redfield short with more fan service in it, 'cause this time I had Chris sat in the bath, and then I had him wrapped in a towel. I wasn't actually naked in that shot. I did have, I think it was shorts on underneath that towel. That came out, and then I released, on the same day, I released part 1 of Resident Evil, of the actual finished Classified. It was down as Classified File 1, and the first section of the film went online. But it was the only piece that I actually released, because I was looking through the footage and I just didn't like the continuity errors that I was seeing. I was not impressed with it. So I ended up shelving that version of Classified. That was the 4th format, I believe. Looking through the script now, if I had a bigger cast, I could pull that off. If I really wanted to, I could use that script again, because I've kept every single modification to the script. I've kept all of these. So I could go back and do that if I had a bigger cast, and I'm actually considering it. But that was the 4th format. That didn't get released. Then it went on to a second Resident Evil collection video, which came out on the 6th of December. I got a couple of Christmas presents early, so that's why I did that video. Then I did a Resident Evil 3 walkthrough. I uploaded half of the Resident Evil 3 walkthrough and then disappeared to the army. That was for about 3 months. But I didn't do any work, video-wise,